Hello everybody, Sons of Anarchy Season 4, Episode 7. Really quickly, before we kick it off and get into this one, there's a few things I just want to mention. Towards the end of this episode, obviously the picture on Netflix comes up, so I know what's going to happen. And obviously I've seen this before, so during that I do know what's going to happen as well. But towards the end of this episode, it may be disturbing to some of you viewers. I know 100% definitely will be to me. Something personal taps into me. What happens at the end of this episode, it's something that I can relate to, but so I'm just giving you the heads up that towards the end of this episode, it might trigger something in some of you. I don't know, of course, I don't know any of you that view this video personally, unless you're close to me, but you get what I'm trying to say. It may be disturbing for some of you, like it would be for me. So I'll give you guys the heads up on that straight off the bat. So, you know, at the end of the episode, you can watch out for that. If you're wondering why, like, scenery has changed halfway through this season, and, like, the way I've done it has changed halfway through this season, because after episode 6 of season 4, I thought that will be a good turning point, to change this season around, do something different, test some things, because yeah, even though the last few seasons were good, don't get me wrong, there was a few episodes that were a bit poor, but there were some episodes that were fine. But I think from this point, this is pretty much the halfway point of the season. I wanted to change it up a bit and do something to keep you guys engaged more, so you actually can enjoy this, you know. So if you don't want to watch the long lengths, you can just watch this. So I wanted to change it up a little bit, so this is what I'm doing. You'll see what I mean when we get into the reaction in a minute. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a head up on that also. I'm going to try and interact with you guys as much as I can. So without further ado, let's just get into this. Season 4, Episode 7. Let's just go.
To help with your decision to avoid.
Let's get you and the kids to the compound, make sure you're safe.
Normal people call the authorities when their lives are threatened.
You don't have a normal life, baby. You have this one.
You know, I do agree with Jammer on that one. But the one thing I will say, there is a huge difference between a legit club and obviously, you know, this club. The Sons in this show, obviously, you know, they're not a legit club. So you get what Gemma's trying to say in that perspective. But obviously, a legit club, it's completely different. It's not like that, how she's explaining it. But yeah.
Someone put a death threat in her car.
What? Jesus Christ.
I'm on the shooter!
Oh,
Bring your medical bag.
oh shit, there's your mom. You look. Yeah, it's okay.
So obviously we have no idea who these guys are at the moment at this point in time. Maybe when this episode goes on, we'll find out. But it's either Mind related or it's Sons related. It's got to be one of the two, or maybe it involves them both, but it's more about the cartel. Maybe I couldn't picture it being the Russians. You know, that ended a long time ago. So it's cartel, or it's Mayans, or it's Sons and Mayans. Like, that's the only thing it can be, these people.
What the hell happened?
Bad morning.
Jesus.
Someone left it in her car. See what you can find out about that.
Is the club watching her?
Yeah. She won't leave our side.
I'll dig into this.
And that's obviously exactly what Ansa wanted. Ansa obviously wanted people watching her, more alert on Tara. So that the whole club, like the sheriffs, like everyone would be alert on keeping Tara safe. And that's what Ansa wanted. You know, so you could tell the looks there by Clay and Ansa that Clay is figuring it out. He knows. But this is something to do with Ansa. And yeah, he's pressing into club business now, and it's not going to land well with Clay.
Carlino lost a hit squad last week. Found them butchered and burned.
So you're saying that this could be the other cartel, Lova Sonora?
No, this is some terror shit that came over the border. Romeo would have given us the heads up, no?
So what happened at the beginning of the episode with the Mayans, we now know who it is. It's another cartel. So the two cartels, they're at a war. They're currently warring. Come back onto the Mayans, which means if it's hit the Mayans, the Sons are most likely going to be the next stop. And obviously all of those, both of those clubs there didn't get the heads up.
Talking in families is what drug cartels do.
Could have tried to be a little bit more stealthy there, not gonna lie. Like,
I gotta call him to Leroy. We're handled.
The sheriff's here. He's looking for Tara.
Everything okay?
Yeah. He must have caught wind of the threat. I told him it was nothing.
Good girl.
I don't know about you guys, but this is something I've picked up really, like, on this season. Tara seems to be really scared of Clay. I don't know if you guys picked up on that, but I could definitely sense it and see it. The way she's trying to keep her distance there, not saying bare minimum, like not as much as, like, you get what I'm trying to say. She's not saying having proper conversations. She's just saying the bare minimum. Distant, trying to get out of that situation as quickly as possible. You can tell Tara is quite scared of Clay. In episode 5, if you guys saw episode 5 of this season, Clay obviously admitted to Gemma that he killed John. So that was an admission. That was straight up an admission. So just take that for a minute. We've got an admission from Clay that he's killed John, Jax's dad. Tara took those letters. She read the letters when they were all inside. Whatever was in those letters is obviously pointed to Clay. Tara's knowledge about Clay, as you could see in that scene, she looked very scared of Clay. So whatever Tara knows about Clay, because it's only this season she seems to be really scared of him. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that Tara knows what Clay has done to John, Jax's dad. So that's why I've got the feeling there that you can see 100% she is scared.
I'm working, so...
Oh. You didn't happen to put a note in his old lady's car by any chance?
What are you talking about?
What he threatened?
No, I swear, I did not do anything.
Yo, Jax called.
I mean, I get why Bobby had to ask. I would have asked that exact same question then. You know, if it was, I can't remember if it was last episode. It probably most likely was last episode. But she was in the clubhouse waving a gun around. You know, there was actually kids in that clubhouse, and you know, she was waving a gun around at the VP's mum. So what do you think was going to happen? So I 100% get Bobby for answering that question. I would have asked exactly the same question, but you know, I don't think she did it. I think she's completely innocent of this. I don't think she would be that silly to put a death threat in the VP's old lady's car. I just don't think she would do that. Like I don't think that's her style.
What's going on with you?
I'm just tired of playing Who's Your Daddy. I'll bring you the sample. Now meet the guy who can make the deal.
What the?
Clear.
Ask you some questions. Translate.
He won't listen. He doesn't care.
Why? Who is he?
Who is he?
Obviously, that was one of the cartels that shot the Mayans down. Beginning of this episode. Obviously, this is the other cartel. So that person there who's just walked into the apartment, that's obviously who he was.
What do you know about a cartel? Should I ask Alvarez?
All I know is they're selling him guns.
The note, is that the cartel threatening me?
Not sure.
Oh my God.
Look, the club is not gonna let anything happen to you.
The club is why everything is happening to me. To my family. I can't believe I signed off on this shit.
Signed off on what?
I gotta get cleaned up.
Tell him the deal maker will be there, then bust him for possession.
Are you kidding? That's entrapment.
It's an outlaw with a couple of grams of blow getting pulled over by a sheriff
I am not going dirty to expedite your agenda. I'm done.
I still need you, Eli. And I really don't relish the idea of calling your superiors. A formal complaint. How's that going to look in your jacket?
I really don't like this. I don't think this is Eli at all. Eli kind of reminds me, very quickly, Eli kind of reminds me of a Hale from season 2. He wants to take them down, but he wants to do it the right way. He doesn't want to do it the dirty way or go dirty to take them down. He wants to do it the right way. Sort of reminded me like Hale. So what is this US attorney is pressuring Eli to do here? I think it is fucked up.
I didn't know the drugs were gonna be part of the guns.
Was that Clay?
Yeah. The deal we had to make was complicated.
He can't be trusted, Jax.
Clay is protecting this club.
Clay protects himself. This is 2 weeks into it. What happens in 2 months, a year?
That's got a point, like you're only 2 weeks into it, and you've already lost a member. Like your Miles is dead now, so you're a member down already on Sam Crow, and it's only been 2 weeks into it. That's kind of like a big statement right there of what you're getting into. And I really despise Clay. I don't like Clay for pushing this deal through. I think he has actually potentially killed the club here at this point, or he's on the road of actually killing the club.
What about the note left for Jack's old lady?
Said it's not their style. Lobo would have written the note in her kid's blood. Hey, thanks for handing me this, huh?
Just paying back a debt, bro.
Think maybe it's club related.
No. Had nothing to do with our business.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Is this some kind of game?
I'm certain it ain't that.
Crawl back into your little shithole, Wayne. You leave this alone. Don't get in my way anymore. Put your hands up against the car.
What the hell are you doing?
You are under arrest for the possession of cocaine.
If that doesn't motivate him, we move forward on possession charges.
And we send him back to Stockton, an unprotected rat.
That sounds terrifying.
You love this shit, don't you?
I like you, Eli. You're a good man, his brothers.
From this point, what you can imagine, this US attorney and Eli, they're obviously going to get now probably Juice to work with them. They're going to blackmail Juice. If Juice does not work with them, they're probably going to lay possession charges on him. And that means he'll go back to charming an unprotected rat like that like Eli just said to that US attorney. So Juice is going to be told that. Juice is going to know that. Like, Juice is not all that stupid. Juice is going to know that if he doesn't do what they want, it's going to be known that he's been charged with possession of the drugs that the club is currently dealing with. So it's complicated, it's fucked up, it's messy now. I do feel a tiny little bit bad for Juice, but at the same time, it's like everyone has a choice, and he did choose this. In a way, if you get what I'm saying, I say he deserves everything that he gets, but then I'm also feeling a little bit bad because of the way that they're doing it to him. They're doing it unfair. They're playing dirty. So if you look at it like that, I do feel a little bit bad. But then also it's like everyone has a choice. So if you ask me, he does deserve a little bit what he gets. That's just this is fucked up. Like, you can see what I'm trying to say, but
I don't know what they want from you. But at this point, you have no choice. You have to cooperate, Juice. I'm a bit worried about Juice.
Worried how?
Same with Miles. Sheriff riding him. Boys checked out. We got to pull him off this cartel shit.
Some days we ask our guys to do shit very few men could do. That's what this means. The way you handle the Russians. This hard thing with Miles. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
But now you need to put it behind you. You understand me?
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
I love you, son.
I love you.
Head back up to the warehouse. Tacoma should be there by now. Just make sure you keep them on their toes.
Right.
Wilsonoro knew exactly where to hit the Mayans. It makes us the next target.
Well, if we are, we'll handle it.
Like Alvarez handled it.
You know, instead of sitting on your fat ass complaining about all the shit I'm doing wrong, why don't you do something actually helps this goddamn club?
Yeah? Like calling a vote?
A little late for that.
I'm not talking about the cartel. Officer challenge. Your leadership is compromising this club. Vote. New president.
We vote this shit tonight.
Of the gallant South, the bulging eyes, for the sun to rise, for the trees to drop. Here is a strange future.
So everyone, that is the end of the episode, season 4, episode 7. It's all I'm going to be able to have time to record today. I've actually got to go out and do things. It's not like before where I could record in season 2 the whole season that day. I can't do that anymore. I have got like 3 or 4 other things going on. So it is a little bit difficult to record episodes sometimes, but I am going to make sure the others get done for you all. But I hope you like this new change of how I've done it. I know it's halfway through the season. I do apologize. The first episode of the season was already scheduled. So it was already, the season was already started. So there's nothing I could do. But nevertheless, I hope you do like this change. Like every single episode from now will be like this. It won't be a crop screen anymore. So I hope you guys do like that. You can sit through it or you can watch it. The crop screen did annoy me a little bit. But as long as I interact with you guys more, there's no problem. There's no rules break. There's nothing like that. It's, fair use counter. As long as I stick to the amount of minutes that I can and I interact with you guys more, put in my perspective, my opinions a bit more, then it's fine. Quickly, before we wrap this up, you saw what happened to Juice there towards the end of the episode. Obviously, this is why I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, if you guys don't want to watch this bit, just cut, stop before you get to the end of the bit. What happened to Juice, it can affect people. And personally, that situation is very similar to me. So I know I 100% get it. The way I see it with Juice, it's what's the words I'm looking for? It's a permanent solution to temporary problems. That's the way I'm trying to put it out. So everything that Juice is going through at the moment, man, the Russians, Miles, been pushed through this cartel deal, even though I'm pretty sure he said no at the table. All of that pressure in one has hit him at once. And, that's the only thing he thinks he knows, just to end it, just to get done with it. He thinks, it's a permanent solution to just temporary issues. And everything that Juice is going through, that's all that he could probably think to end it, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. But this is kind of like a dangerous thing as well, because if the rest of the club pick up that he's tried to do that to himself, they ain't gonna trust him. They're gonna see it as a weakness. Like members in clubs don't take themselves out like that. So if the rest of the club see that, or they get wind that he's tried taking himself out, it's a huge weakness and red flag. So, but the way the U.S. attorney and Eli are doing dirty on him, man, is just not right. Eli, you can see he wants to take them down the right way, like Hale did in the past before he died, and trying to take down clubs the dirty way. You can see that it's really getting on Eli's buttons a bit. So that's that whole juice situation there. I can't wait for next episode. I think it's going to heat up a lot. But yeah, thank you guys for all the recent support throughout this season. I hope you guys do enjoy the rest of the series like this, and the support just stacks up now. I hope even more than what it did before from you guys. Other than that, let's wrap this episode up. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.